Hello, my grandchildren. Grandma has a big mansion where in every corner there stays a different story. Our narrator got lost in one of the rooms. Let's see what story our narrator found today for you.
Every love story begins with a promise. Mine began with a voice begging me not to trust the man I married. Chapter 1. The manor stood like a wound against the horizon, too large, too silent, too watchful. Tell me again why we bought this place? Elara's voice trembled despite her attempt at humor. Rowan smirked, though his eyes lingered on the blackened windows. Because you said you wanted character. I meant exposed brick. Not this. A cold wind slipped through the rusted gate, as if the house had exhaled. Inside, the air smelled faintly of damp wood and something older. Something sweet and rotten beneath it. Rowan set down the last box. It's just old. It'll feel better once we fix it up. Elara didn't answer. She was staring at the staircase. Did you hear that? She whispered. Hear what? Someone just said my name. Rowan laughed softly. Probably the pipes, but the pipes did not whisper again that night. The first whisper came at 3:12 a.m. Elara. Her eyes snapped open. The room was drenched in darkness. Rowan slept beside her, breathing slow and steady. Elara. This time it was closer, not in the room inside her head. She sat up. Hello? Silence. Then softer. Urgent. He lies below. Morning light made everything feel ridiculous. You had a nightmare, Rowan said, handing her coffee. New house jitters. Elara forced a smile. Yeah, probably. But her gaze drifted to the cellar door. Days passed. The whispers didn't stop. They grew clearer. He was betrayed, buried in silence. Find me. Elara stopped sleeping. Dark circles hollowed her eyes. Rowan grew concerned. You're scaring me. I'm not crazy, she snapped. Then softer, almost pleading. You have to believe me. I believe that something's wrong, Rowan said, reaching for her hand. But not. Ghosts. That night. The whisper changed.
Do not trust him.
Elara froze. What? She breathed.
He will leave you, like the others.
The cellar door creaked open with a reluctant groan. Rowan stood behind her. We shouldn't be down here. We should have come sooner, Elara said. The air was thick, heavy, oppressive. Then the whisper louder than ever.
Behind the wall.
Elara turned sharply. Did you hear that? Rowan shook his head, but he looked afraid now. They found it beneath crumbling plaster, a hidden space. Inside, bones, a skeleton curled unnaturally, as if trying to claw its way out. Elara staggered back. Oh, God, Rowan whispered. We need to call someone. No, Elara said. The whisper filled her skull like a scream.
He killed me.
Her voice trembled. Rowan, it says. I know what it says. Rowan snapped suddenly. The silence that followed was suffocating. Elara's heart stopped. You? No? Rowan's face drained of colour. Elara, listen to me. The temperature dropped violently. The whisper was no longer gentle.
Liar!
The walls shook. Dust rained from the ceiling. The skeleton's jaw creaked open with a sound that wasn't physical. It was felt. I didn't mean to. Rowan shouted, panic unraveling him. It was an accident. Elara stepped back. What are you saying? I was here before, Rowan said, voice breaking. Years ago, I was hired to restore the place. The whisper hissed, circling them.
He locked me away.
Rowan shook his head violently. No, I didn't know he was down there. I sealed the wall. I thought it was empty. You buried him alive. Elara whispered. I didn't know. Rowan cried. I swear to you, I didn't know. The room went deathly still. Then,
Elara.
gentle again. Cold fingers brushed her cheek. Help me. Tears streamed down her face. What do you want? Justice. The bones began to shift. Snap, crack, rise. Rowan grabbed her. We have to go. Now. But Elara didn't move. What if it's right? She whispered. What if this house didn't call me? What if he did? The shadow behind the skeleton stretched unnaturally, rising taller than the ceiling. Elara, it murmured, almost tender. You understand. Rowan pulled her desperately. Don't listen to it. It's twisting you. The shadow lunged. They ran. Up the stairs. Through the halls that no longer made sense. Doors led to nowhere. Windows showed darkness where daylight should be. The house was closing in. In the end, they reached the front door. Rowan shoved it open. Light poured in. Go, he shouted. Elara didn't move. The whisper wrapped around her like an embrace. Stay. She turned slowly. Rowan's face shattered. Elara, please. You said you didn't know, she whispered. I didn't. The shadow loomed behind him. Waiting. Hungry. Elara's lips trembled. Then why didn't you tell me you'd been here before? Rowan froze. That single second was enough. Chapter 2. The shadow struck. Darkness swallowed him. His scream was cut short like a candle snuffed between fingers. Silence. The manor exhaled. Days later, the house stood quiet again, still, watching. Inside, footsteps echoed softly. Elara. She smiled faintly, her eyes hollow now. I'm here. The whisper curled around her lovingly. No one will leave you again. She reached out into the darkness, and something unseen took her hand. The manor did not feel empty anymore. It felt full. Elara. The whisper was no longer distant. It lived in the walls, in the floorboards, in the hollow spaces between her breaths. She walked slowly through the corridor, her bare feet soundless against the cold wood. I'm here, she replied softly. The air stirred, almost pleased. Days, or what felt like days, lost meaning. Sunlight rarely touched the inside of the manor now. When it did, it seemed thin, diluted, as if something in the house drank it before it could reach her. Elara no longer tried to leave. She no longer wanted to. Tell me your name, she murmured one evening, standing before the cracked mirror in the parlor. Chapter 3. For the first time, the whisper hesitated. Selim. The name slid through her like a memory that wasn't hers. Selim, she repeated, tasting it. The mirror flickered. For a heartbeat, she wasn't alone in the reflection. A man stood behind her, pale, hollow-eyed, lips parted as if caught between a scream and a plea. Then he was gone. You were in pain, Elara whispered, fingers tracing the mirror's surface. All that time, the room grew colder. Yes, a pause. So were you. She found Rowan's watch the next morning. It lay on the staircase, ticking softly, impossibly because she remembered the moment the shadow took him. Time had stopped then. She picked it up, her hands trembling. Rowan, she breathed. For the first time in days, something broke through the haze. Grief, sharp, violent, human. You let him die. The voice was no longer gentle. Elara froze. You killed him. Silence. Then he would have left you. Her eyes filled with tears. You don't know that. I know betrayal. The walls creaked as if agreeing. I know abandonment. The house groaned. I know what it is to beg and not be heard. Elara clutched the watch tightly. He wasn't like that. A sudden gust slammed the doors shut around her.
Alar.
Chapter 4. That night she dreamed. Not her own dream. His. She was trapped in darkness. No air. No space. Fingers bleeding as they clawed at stone. A voice screaming hoarse. Broken. Please, someone please. Her own voice answered. I'm here. The screaming stopped. Elara woke with dirt under her nails. You showed me, she whispered into the dark. Why? A long pause. Then, softer than ever, so you would understand why I cannot let you go. Days turned stranger. The house began to change. Rooms stretched longer. Hallways twisted. Doors appeared where there had been none. And behind some of them, breathing, Elara. She turned. This time, he stood there fully. Selim, not a shadow, not a flicker, a man, or something trying very hard to be one. His skin was too pale, his movements slightly delayed, like a memory catching up to itself. But his eyes, they were filled with something terrifyingly human. Loneliness. You stayed, he said. I did. His expression softened, almost disbelieving. No one ever stays. Elara stepped closer. I know what it's like to be afraid of being left, she said quietly. Selim tilted his head. And yet, you are still afraid of me. She didn't deny it. I'm afraid of what you've done. Something flickered across his face. Pain or anger. Would you have left me there? He asked. Elara hesitated. That hesitation was enough. The room darkened instantly. You see? His voice fractured, slipping into something inhuman. Even you. No, she cried. That's not fair. The walls trembled. You're not giving anyone a choice. For a moment, silence. Then, you have a choice. The words were quiet. Too quiet. Elara's heart pounded. What do you mean? Selim stepped closer. Too close. Stay with me, he whispered. Cold fingers brushed her cheek. Or join him. Her breath caught. Rowan. The floor beneath her shifted. Opened. Darkness yawned below. From its depths came a faint, broken sound. Elara. Her heart shattered. Rowan. His voice echoed weakly from below. Distorted, like it had to travel through layers of earth and time. Help. Tears streamed down her face as she looked between the darkness. And Selim. You said he was gone, she whispered. Selim's expression hardened. I said he was taken. You're using him, she said, shaking. You're making me choose. I am giving you truth, Selim replied. Rowan's voice rose again. Desperate. Elara, please. I'm still here. I can feel something I can't. His voice broke into static-like distortion. Pain. Real pain. Elara fell to her knees at the edge of the darkness. I'm coming, she cried. A hand closed around her wrist. Cold. Unyielding. If you go, Selim said softly, you will leave me. She looked up at him, her face shattered by tears. I already lost him once, she said. I won't do it again. Something inside Selim cracked. You will, he whispered. The house screamed. The darkness surged upward. Hands too many, too thin reached from below. Grasping, pulling. Rowan's voice twisted into a cry of agony. Elara, don't let them. She lunged forward, and Selim pulled her back. For a single horrifying moment, they were frozen. Elara between two worlds. One of the living, one of the dead, both begging her to stay. Then everything went silent. When the stillness broke, only one voice remained. Elara. Soft, close, unavoidable.
You're welcome to subscribe, but there's absolutely no pressure.